Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24, and in today's video we're going to be focusing on traction control within the Premier class. We're going to be using Jack Miller and we're going to be tackling the practice session of Assen, since my time trial is completely broken, so it won't let me do it there, so we're doing it here instead. But today's focus, as I say already, is traction control. Now, we all have our own styles when we play these MotoGP games, whether it be aggressive on the throttle, really spinning that rear tyre, or the opposite, nice and smooth, calm and collected, lots of tyre wear right to the end. But the key to being quick and the key to being fast and consistent within MotoGP is finding electronics that work well for you. I'd like to take the opportunity to discuss the rest of electronics in a future video where I can focus on each and every single aspect more in detail. But today, as I mentioned many times already, the focus is traction control. Now, for myself, I am a very relaxed player when it comes to holding the controller, manipulating the buttons and pulling the triggers. Now, so for me, with it being a gentle touch is what I prefer, I do prefer a lower traction control. From Moto 3 to Moto 2 that doesn't have traction control, to MotoGP to reduce the traction all the way down to its lowest value of numero uno, traction control 1. Now, on the flip side, if you're a rather aggressive player, you like to slam the buttons, you like to really pull the trigger to get on the power, then possibly a higher traction control would be better for you. Now, I'm not going to tell you in this video that this is the definitive traction control and everyone should use it. I would always recommend finding what works best for you. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to discuss why I use traction control 1 and how I feel comfortable with the lowest option, and then I'll show you a couple of laps with some different traction control settings. As I've said before, and I'll say again 1,000 times, it is imperative that you try all of these to find what style works best for you. Now, I'm currently on around 70-75 hours played of MotoGP 24, so I've got a good experience now with the game. I'm feeling the physics, the feedback from the controller, the vibration. I feel like I'm really getting to grips with it now, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy to start giving you my input for how to really tackle the best electronic settings. And for me, traction control 1 is the ultimate key. If I use a higher traction control, I don't feel the vibration in the controller. I don't feel the bike slipping or skidding to let me know that, hang on, we're getting a bit too aggressive. And I don't feel the same exit as I do with the lowest option of traction control. Now, I have tried 2, and I was using traction control 2 for quite a while, and I would say that's a very good balance of giving you feeling and feedback in the controller, but not spinning up the rear so you're really losing time upon the exits of corners, or possibly even just burning up the rear Michelin tyre. Now, I've been using traction control 1 since for a couple of weeks now, and I've noticed my lap times are beginning to drop. Of course, you could take that into account that I've been playing a little bit more of the Premier class, but I would put it down to, as well as also manipulating the traction control to a value that suits me better. As I say, try 1. If you don't like it, increase to 2. If that doesn't feel right, increase to 3, and so on and so on. But my recent experience of the traction control 1 is that very similar to what it was in MotoGP 23. In 23, it really felt like it was the definitive option for having exit speed. Now I find it's a bit of a mixture between 1, 2 and 3. I think either one of those are all very good options and don't hinder your performance too much. Traction control 1, on the other hand, I do find that the pickup effect feels ever so slightly reduced in mid-corners. Now, I know some players are going to tell you that the the pickup effect has been removed, but it is still prominent in the game depending on the track, the corner, and the sensation of speed that you're carrying throughout that corner. So I would recommend dropping these traction control in a circuit where you feel like you're hitting a brick wall and you just can't seem to break on through. You keep getting those lap times that are good, that are consistent, but you can't find the additional few tenths. I would highly recommend checking out your traction control. Now, with traction control 1, of course, there is a risk. There is a very, very high risk of spinning up the rear too much, burning up the Michelin rear tyres, and worse, high-siding, ejecting from your motorcycle. So what I would recommend is to test it until the point where you feel like, yes, this is not going to work, and either persevere with it and see if you can handle the low traction control or increase. There is no problem and there's no danger of being on a higher traction control and slowly working to test other ones. I did 100 plus hours on MotoGP 23 before I decided to drop the traction control. A lot of players already caught onto this early and did advise me to do so, but I didn't have that confidence and that belief to really try to reduce the traction control. Best advice I can possibly give you is to constantly keep trying to see which one works best for you. I do find the Ducati with traction control 1 feels terrific. The Honda, not so much. The KTM was a good balance. It felt like there was some good consistency with the lower option of traction control, and the Yamaha and the Aprilia, I felt that either one would be sufficient. Now a circuit like Assen, where you're going to be on the power quite a lot, there's some fast flowing corners, it is important to try it which one works best for you, and I do find that traction control 1 here is a bit of a glass cannon. It's risky, it's nerve-wracking, but if you get it right you should be fine. So let's quickly now transition into the next part of the video where we're going to start changing over the traction control. Now into the first corner, I felt like I was braking a little bit better there, so we're actually higher up on the delta for the first sector. We're using traction control 3, and my initial feedback and feeling is it's different. Lack of vibration. I feel that I can go a little bit more heavy-handed with the right trigger button, and I don't think I'm going to be penalised so much. So now I'm beginning to wonder, maybe for the first sector a higher traction control would be better because you're on the lean angle of the KTM quite a lot. Possibly when you get to the second and third split, dropping it down may give you that extra speed when needed to come out of corners like the DrAce, the Weinschlang, etc, etc. Now as we get to the middle part of the circuit here, we're going up to sector 2, and we're actually halfway through sector 3, and I can already feel now that these corners, it's struggling. I'm feeling like even if I'm pressing onto the power a little bit more, I can't seem to get the bike turned in as easy as I did with traction control 1. I would say the pickup effect, which is still in the game, I know you're probably saying otherwise, but it's still there, but it's just very minimal. It does feel stronger in those higher traction controls. Try it if you don't believe me. Upshift to a higher gear mid-corner, and you'll also notice that the bike will be a little bit more nimble, and it allows you to move a little bit easier. So for the first lap time there with traction control 3, I would say that the bike didn't feel bad, it just felt different. And I think if the bike feels different in not either a positive or a negative way, but more so just in a strange way where you just don't feel that comfortable, I would probably suggest then trying a different traction control. As I say, 1 or 2 laps is not really going to cut it. I'm going to do 1 or 2 laps because I've already really done this testing and practicing before making this video. So I would say for the purpose of the video, I'm going to show you just the difference in lap times. But if I really wanted to show you the full nitty-gritty, I've just run off the circuit there into the Russian up, apologies. That's lack of feeling and not having that same energy to move into those corners. So just feeling so slightly different, lack of vibration. Just doesn't feel natural for me now, probably because I'm so used to the lower traction controls of TCS1 and TCS2. But what I will say is, compared to MotoGP 23, traction control 3, 4 and 5 felt like they were miles behind TCS1 and 2. Doesn't feel that different nowadays, so if you're still using this traction control and you feel fine, and you don't feel the need to change, then I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't start looking at people's setups and guides to try and find quicker times if you're already pretty much comfortable. If you do want to try it, I say absolutely go for it, but I would never say you have to do it. I don't think you have to try a lower traction control to be good this year. I noticed that some of the esports players and even world record holders on MotoGP 24 are still using traction control 2 over traction control 1. Now that we have swapped over traction control 2, I do feel that balance is coming back. I have a little bit more vibration in the controller, and I'm feeling a bit more spin in the rear tyre, which to me feels comfortable. I enjoy that feeling of the rear tyre. I like to have every single little bit of bump and rumble in that controller to correlate to something about this bike. And I would say it is doing that wonderfully here now with Traction Control 2. This is going back to when I first started playing the game, and TCS2 was my go-to. I would have swore to pick TCS2 definitively when I first started playing this game. But now as I've swapped over, gone down to reduce to Traction Control 1, it is all beginning to click, it's beginning to feel better, and I'm really enjoying the Premier class. I just need now to get rid of, to get done of Moto 3 and to get Moto 2 done, and then we'll be back in the Premier class, but for our MotoGP career mode. But nonetheless, I am thoroughly enjoying Moto 3 and soon will be enjoying Moto 2. But for now, Traction Control feels really good. Traction Control 2, should I say. And in fact, this could be an improvement. Big point here is going into the final corner for the G8 Timber chicane. And you know what? That corner actually felt better with Traction Control 2 compared to 1. So I actually really like the two options. And I think I could easily swap between the two of them before deciding on a definitive answer. I really could. But as I say, I don't want this video to come across as me just choosing this one and telling you what to do it. I'm not preaching, I'm just trying to give you advice and to give you an understanding of why I choose one, where you may choose 2 or you may choose 3. I can't stress enough, try it, practice it, and also let me know in the comment section to see what you use, because I'm really curious. And if you're coming back to this video after maybe testing it, let me know what you found, let me know what differences you found. I'm always keen to hear from you guys, and of course you guys probably play even more than I do. I spend probably as much time as I do recording the videos, then editing and then rendering. I've just made a small mistake there. That's my second mistake now in today's video. That's not going too well. A little bit disappointed that these slight mishaps have occurred. I didn't really feel like there was anything particularly different there. I think I just braked a bit too late, trying to get a good lap time with Traction Control 2. But what I do want to try now, before we come to the conclusion of today's video, I'd like just to drop down to TCS1 again. After 7 laps of practice, I would like to see how this now correlates to going to my preferred style of traction control. Prime example is in this corner here. I do feel I have to go a little bit more gentle upon the acceleration, but I instantly feel quicker. I feel I have more control. The vibration's stronger now in the DualSense controller. I have that sensation in my fingers and index fingers. It feels good. It feels natural. I feel like I can set a decent lap time here on this one. Definitely the inspiration you need to get that feeling and feedback of the controller to try and get Jack Miller to the top of the pile. In fact, he already is at the top of the pile, but not by much, by a slim margin of 16,000th of a second. So onto the straight and then into the right hand side. Got to be careful here. We drop into the Russian up, very tight to the apex there. And we now brake again. Here onto the right hander coming out to Steckenval. I'm not really a big fan of using the right height device there. I try to use it sometimes, but without it and Traction Control 1, I felt like I had a lot of power to exit that corner with precision and temerity to launch into Mandevin with into De Bolt and then into Mandevin with some good speed. Losing a bit of time there into that corner. I must confess, Traction Control 2 probably felt better with the Duke salute to the Muamima, but honestly, it's hard to choose between them. I think I had just abused the track limits there as well, as a matter of fact, but that's pretty much it for me on Traction Control. As I say, it's not a definitive guide to tell you what is the best, but I just wanted to share with you my thoughts and process when choosing a particular traction control setting. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Apologies if my voice sounded off today. I've just got a bit of a sore throat, so I wasn't able to really do my main commentary as I would normally. But guys, that's it from me. Let me know in the comment section down below what traction control you use, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.